Hello, I'm Erik Robey.
And I'm Karla Schaffer, and this is Anne Arundel County Week in Review. In this week's show, we'll take a look at the success of the county's annual event to help the homeless and preview spring events coming to London Town. Making headlines this week, well, it's crunch time for the county officials this week as County Executive John Leopold puts the finishing touches on his fiscal year 2012 budget. The presentation comes 2 weeks earlier than past years because of a change to the county charter approved by voters in November. You can catch the budget message County Executive Leopold presents to the County Council here on Anne Arundel Community Television live on Friday, April 15th. The Council will then hold public hearings and work sessions for the following month before approving a final budget before the fiscal year ends on June 30th. We will keep you updated on the progress. County Executive Leopold said of his upcoming budget recommendations, "Citizens can expect that for the 5th straight year, we will keep our promise not to raise their taxes. I encourage the public to participate in the process because the budget is a very important fiscal and moral document. To view this year's budget's recommendations and review previous years, go online to www.aacounty.org and click on Budget under the agency's pull-down tab."
Last week, Glen Burnie High School had long lines for by far the busiest homeless resource day so far. The 4th annual event that County Executive Leopold created in 2008 drew a huge turnout both by people needing services and volunteers from all around the county who wanted to help those in need. In all, 674 people attended to get services as simple as a haircut or a vision test, or as important as a birth certificate or housing application. They were met by 417 volunteers, 65 organizations, and 266 service providers, a virtual army of helping hands. County Executive Leopold said of the event, "The number of people in need of services is a reflection of the state of our economy. However, it also shows the tremendous generosity of our citizens to take the time to help someone less fortunate." The most popular service received was food stamps, with 225 people applying. Officials from the Department of Social Services said this was an indication there are more homeless children and families than in past years. We hope that events like this will help turn things around for folks who are experiencing hard times.
In this week's Hot Topics, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department responded to 1,429 calls for service. This included more than 1,119 emergency medical calls and 124 fire calls. One wreck closed a portion of 695 when a vehicle struck a light pole in Glen Burnie. And in other news, a member of the fire department's Public Fire Safety and Injury Prevention Division participated in a safety forum at the Ruth Parker Easton Elementary School in Millersville. With us now to tell us more is Division Chief Michael Cox of the Anne Arundel County Fire Department. Chief?
Thanks, Karla. Around 7:20 a.m. on Monday, April 4th, 2011, Anne Arundel County firefighters responded to a reported fuel spill on the exit ramp from I-695 East to Route 2 South. The first unit to arrive on the scene reported a single vehicle accident involving a pickup truck that was towing some excavating equipment. In this case, the driver of the pickup truck struck and jumped a guardrail, striking an energized light pole that came to rest on the pickup truck. No one was injured as a result of the accident. However, the exit ramp was closed until firefighters could contain and clean up the fuel spill, and officials from the Baltimore Gas and Electric Company could de-energize the light pole, which was lowered to the ground for state highway crews by the operator of the tow company on the scene. On a more positive note, members of the County Fire Department's Public Fire Safety and Injury Prevention Division participated in a safety forum that was held at the Ruth Parker Easton School on Wednesday, April 6, 2011 in Millersville. The event was held to provide information regarding fire safety and injury prevention programs and information offered by the County Fire Department to the parents of deaf and hard of hearing students at the school. In addition, the attendees were informed of the fire department's new visual smoke alarm outreach program, where residents who are deaf and hard of hearing can obtain a visual smoke alarm from the County Fire Department. Karla?
Thanks, Chief. County fire officials advise that smoke detectors save lives. County residents whose homes are not equipped with a smoke detector and cannot afford to purchase one should contact the Anne Arundel County Fire Department's Office of Fire Safety and Injury Prevention to request a smoke detector. The Office of Fire Safety and Injury Prevention can be reached at 410-222-8303.
Well, in this week's Community Spotlight, B. Poland is with Donna Ware at London Town and Gardens in Edgewater to talk about the historic site's upcoming events. B.
Well, Erik, I'm here today on the banks of the South River in Edgewater at beautiful historic London Town Park and Gardens. This is a phenomenal place that the county has in southern Anne Arundel County. 23 acres of beautiful woodlands, open areas, gardens, historic center, visitor center. You really got to get down here to see it. I'm here today with Donna Ware, the executive director. And Donna, thank you for having us here today. This is gorgeous.
Well, thank you, Bea, and welcome to Historic London Town and Gardens. As Bea mentioned, it's a beautiful park, 23 acres, just a few miles south of Annapolis. And we feature archaeology, history, education programs, and horticulture. So there's something for everyone here.
How long have you been affiliated with the London Town Park?
Well, I've been the executive director here since 2003.
Okay. And tell us more about what you do in your role as executive director.
Well, I administer all of the programs that we offer, which I mentioned to you. One of the programs that you see today is our education program that we offer here. During the school year, we have school kids here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And they have the opportunity to participate in several of our programs. And the one you see today is the archaeology program, which is offered every Wednesday. And then the kids will also have an opportunity to experience colonial life in the William Brown House, which is our National Historic Landmark. And other days of the week, they can do science in the garden and also African American history. So that's just our education programs. We also have living history days and all various different lectures and workshops and opportunities to enjoy our beautiful 8-acre woodland garden.
Now that sounds like a very culturally diverse opportunity for our population here, but I'm sure you reach out to people beyond Anne Arundel County. What kind of traffic do you get from the region?
We actually pull from a large region, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia, and of course Maryland. But it's the Mid-Atlantic region where people have sought us out. They've maybe have heard about us through the Conference and Visitors Bureau in Annapolis, but it is we have people even coming from Europe, so they specifically look for us.
So this site was really one of the earliest towns on the East Coast in Maryland. What is it, over 300 years old?
Yes, it was established in 1683. It was a designated tobacco port. And so it was a viable town, 100 acres. About 40 structures were built in its heyday and probably had a population of about 300 or 400. And it was all based on the tobacco trade. So transatlantic trade as a transportation center on the north-south route along the eastern seaboard. But it became one of Maryland's most important tobacco ports.
So the South River is here behind us,
Yes.
And ships would come up to this port and trade, and the farmers would bring their tobacco barrels here, and other trade would happen. Other products are coming and going, so this is a very viable place. Was it happening at the same time as Annapolis?
It actually precedes Annapolis by a few decades, and its heyday, London Town's heyday, was 1710, 1720. I mean, even though it was initiated in 1683. And then by the 1730s and 40s, you begin to see Annapolis rise as an important port town and, of course, the center of politics in Maryland.
So the children today are sifting through archaeological dirt.
Yes.
Dirt that's been dug up by the scientists here. And what will they find?
Well, one of the great opportunities here at London Town is that children can participate in a real dig, a real archaeological dig. They're helping us rediscover the lost town of London Town. And they actually work with real archaeologists. So some of the things that they may find,
Let's see if we can show these.
the piece that you're holding is a piece of ceramic. It's a salt glaze piece from Germany, from the area that part of Europe.
And this looks kind of weird.
That's a nail that has rust all over it and dirt. And these are the things as you see them straight from the ground. And a piece of glass, right? This is a piece of glass.
Okay.
And these artifacts, once the kids help us find them, they will go to the archaeology lab. The Anne Arundel County Archaeology Lab is here at London Town. And they will be washed and sorted by volunteers. And so you're seeing them in the rough here.
What is this little piece?
This is a little piece of brick.
Wow.
That's a little piece of brick.
It looks like a little pebble, but
yes.
I guess
the
once you clean it, you know what you're looking at.
Yeah, the trained eye understands what all of this is.
Okay, well, I'm not a
all the best rubbish.
It looks like a bunch of rubbish, but this piece of pottery is really cool.
Yes, that's a Rhenish piece. It's beautiful.
Well, I would love, if I were digging, to come across something like that. I mean, that would just be so exciting and would urge me to do more.
It is very exciting.
Now you have, besides this archaeological program going on weekly, you have some major events annual, and you've got a couple of big things coming up this month in April, right?
Yes, we do. Okay. Thanks, Bea. This Friday, April 8th, we are having our 4th annual benefit called London Town in Bloom. It's going to be an exciting evening starting at 6 o'clock. We have a silent auction with a number of great items. And 17 caterers are coming to provide us with delectable dishes. And we have music provided by the Freddie Stevens Trio. And so it's going to be a fun evening, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. You can pay at the door. It's $60 per person. And all of the proceeds benefit our educational mission here at London Town.
Now later this month you also have the spring plant sale, and that starts on April 29th, and that's for members as well as the public?
That's correct. It's a 2-day affair. The annual spring plant sale is April 29th and April 30th. The 29th is just for members only, but you can join that evening. You get a preview and you get the first crack at a wonderful selection of plants. And that is from 4 to 7. The plants sale starts the very next morning at 8 a.m., and that's from 8 to noon. And believe me, you have to be here at 8 o'clock if you want to get those plants, and that's open to the public, and that's free. We're also offering a May Day celebration on Saturday, the same day as the plant sale. And that starts at 11 o'clock, runs till 1. And that is going to be a fun event for the family. So come out for that. That's $10 for adults and $5 for children. And we'll have a maypole dancing and fairy wand making and all kinds of fun things.
Tell us just briefly about that May 21st event, the Maryland House and Garden Pilgrimage. Southern Anne Arundel County is included in it this year.
Yeah. That is the 74th annual Maryland House and Garden Pilgrimage. And it'll feature some fabulous houses privately owned in southern Anne Arundel County. Of course, we will be on the tour, but you'll be able to see places like Sudley and Holly Hill, Thanksgiving Farm, and all of the proceeds will go to historic London Town and Gardens. So we urge you to come out for that day. That's May 21st, and it costs $35 for a ticket to view 12 fabulous historic buildings. And the proceeds will go to London Town so that we can reconstruct the Rumney West Tavern here at London Town.
Well, Erik, this is a wonderful place, and I encourage everyone who knows about it to come down and visit again, because it's ever changing, ever growing. There are a lot of new exhibits coming in, and it's just a wonderful asset to our county. We're privileged to have been able to hold on to this property and for posterity. So I hope everyone will take a chance to come to historic London Town, and the website, if you want more information, is www.historiclondontown.org, historiclondontown.org, and you can call for more information at 410-222-1919, 1919.
We're also on Facebook.
And London Town is on Facebook. So Donna, thank you so much for inviting us out here today. It's been great. I look forward to checking it out, and I think I'm coming down for that Friday night party. That sounds like a great Friday night out.
Thanks, Bea. There's so much to do down at London Town.
Well, there's more Week in Review to come. Take a look at the community calendar for what's happening around the county. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Brenda Reber, and I'm here at Stony Creek Fishing and Hunting Club with John Schweitzer, the Hunter Safety Chief Instructor for the Stony Creek Department of Natural Resources Hunter Safety Program. Thank you for coming out, John.
Thanks for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about what Hunter Safety Program is?
Sure. The Hunter Safety Program actually got its start back in the late 40s in New York State. Maryland had a voluntary program that started in '66 and then became mandatory in 1977, which the goals of the Maryland Hunter Safety Program is to promote safety, reduce accidents that are happening out in the field, and also to promote safe and responsible hunting.
What sort of topics are covered during the program?
There's a whole variety of topics. Maryland's traditional course, which is a minimum of 10 hours, has a variety of presentations and lectures that cover everything from safe firearms handling, ethics, responsibility, being out in the field, landowner relationships, public relations, survival skills, safety, preparedness, topics that will cover pistols, rifles, shotguns, general firearms, bows, archery, care of game animals, so a whole variety of topics that will sort of encompass the hunting experience.
Well, who should participate in this course? What's the importance of doing it?
Well, one, it's mandatory, so anybody that did not possess a valid hunting license prior to '77 is required to take the course and to get certification in order to obtain a valid hunting license in Maryland. My recommendation is that everyone should take the course, even as a refresher. Our accidents that happen, unfortunately, we've had some recent fatalities this year, and we're not seeing that occurring with the youth or the younger hunters that have gone through the course. Most of the accidents are occurring or dealing with hunters that are in their 40s to 50s.
Who teaches this course, and why is it done here at Stony Creek?
Well, Stony Creek was established back in '46, and our club is dedicated to promoting safety, safe firearms handling, and also involving the public. So it's very important to the core of the club and being sportsmen to further the sports and safe firearms handling and hunting practices. It's a volunteer program. Instructors are certified through the state of Maryland, and there's continual updates that are held on an annual basis for the instructors. So we have over 20 volunteer instructors that are certified here that teach at Stony Creek. We have a lot of history. We have a lot of legacy within the club in supporting community activities and also being a strong advocate for the Hunter Safety Program.
You mentioned community activities. What sort of activities are available to the general public, or is everything just geared toward the members here?
There's a variety of public events that are held at Stony Creek Fishing and Hunting Club. One being, of course, the Hunter Safety Program, which we have 13 classes set up for this year. We'll have approximately 450 to 500 students that will come through the course at Stony Creek this year. Other activities for the public are Tuesday night trap shooting, which is a very high point for a lot of the public to come down and shoot trap. And that's Tuesdays at 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock in the evening. We also have hunter sighting and qualification, which will start later in the summer for those in the public that don't belong to a shooting range that need assistance with sighting in their firearms, and also for getting certification for state requirements to hunt on public property, such as some of the state and managed hunts that are held throughout the state. Additionally, we have an annual egg roll that's coming up very soon for the neighborhood, our community, that's open to all the public. We also have a spring and fall flea market and raffle that's open to the public. I wouldn't say it was open to the public. One of the most recent things we did that has a lot of pride for the memberships is we hosted a Wounded Warriors Day down here. We had approximately 50 Wounded Warriors that came down and were able to shoot on our ranges, various firearms, trap. We had a luncheon and just a fabulous day for these folks. And it was quite a sense of pride for the membership to be able to support our Wounded Warriors.
Pasadena is a fairly densely populated area. With a gun club in the middle of all of these people, how do you work to keep the public safe as you pursue your activities here?
Well, safe firearms handling is a must. We go through various training. One, all prospective members need to be certified with the hunter safety program. We also have range orientation. We've done a variety of safety measures that have been built. People that are familiar with the club have noticed the change over the years where we were the only neighbor for the most part with nothing but woods around us. We've installed a variety of high berms around the property. We also have backstops. We've enclosed our shooting range and shooting facility for noise mitigation. We have a variety and system of eyebrows and downrange berms that will ensure that no projectiles leave our range.
If I were interested in joining the club, what process would I have to go through?
Well, our meetings are open to the public also. So the second and last Friday of every month, meetings start at 8 o'clock. Come down, introduce yourself, get to know some of the members. There's a variety of requirements that you can find out about either from our website at scfhcclub.org on the web, or we have come to a meeting. We'll be happy to give that information as far as what's required to be a member at the club.
Wonderful. It sounds like a lot of fun. To wrap up about the hunter safety program, how would one find out more information about hunter safety itself? And is it offered anywhere besides at Stony Creek?
Oh, absolutely. There's approximately 100 teaching teams throughout the state of Maryland. My best recommendation for people is you can go to the websites for the DNR. Okay, you can go in and search on Maryland Hunter Safety. You'll get a lot of information, course schedules, dates, the requirements. We also have an email address. Our schedule is listed on those websites. Give an overview of the course, the requirements. Most clubs have a $10 fee. Maryland has also introduced an internet course for students that can't make the traditional class, with being several days or evenings and a full day Saturday, what we do here at the club. But the information is on the web. Most certainly, if you hit our website, there's ways to contact me on the email system. We also have a dedicated email account for hunter safety, which is scfhclub.huntersafety@gmail, and anybody can feel free to send an email and we'll be happy to give them information about the program.
Well, thank you so much, John. I appreciate the information on hunter safety.
And welcome back. Well, in this week's Police Beat, the police are looking for 5 men who assaulted and robbed a teenager on his skateboard on Stream Valley Drive near Summers Ridge Court in Odenton. Joining us with more information on the investigation is Public Information Officer Justin Mulcahy. Justin.
Thanks, Erik. Officers arrived and spoke with the 14-year-old male victim who advised that he was skateboarding on Stream Valley Drive approaching Summers Ridge Court. That's when he observed a dark-colored car parked along the road. At that time, approximately 5 or 6 male subjects exited the vehicle, assaulted the victim, and took an undisclosed amount of U.S. currency along with a cell phone. The suspects then fled the scene in a dark-colored vehicle. The victim was treated by paramedics at the scene for what was deemed to be minor injuries. Numerous officers searched the area but were unable to locate the suspects, who are being described as about 5 to 6 black males, all around 30 years of age. Now we're going to move on to an update of a previous incident. On March 29th, around 5:45 in the morning, officers from the Eastern District responded to the 8500 block of Fort Smallwood Road in Pasadena for a report of a robbery that just occurred. Now, when officers arrived on scene, they spoke with the victim, a 51-year-old male. He indicated that he left his residence that morning in Elizabeth Landing and was walking to a public bus stop when he was approached by 3 male subjects.
The suspects demanded the victim's money and property, and the victim complied with those demands. The suspects fled on foot towards the Elizabeth Landing community with the victim's cell phone and money. Now for an update in this case. Fast forward the next day on March 30th around 1:19 p.m. That's when Eastern District officers and detectives responded to the area of Stony Creek Drive and Ridge Road in Pasadena for another incident that came in as a robbery, this time of a pizza delivery driver. After receiving tips from citizens and through further investigation, patrol officers, along with the PACT unit and district detectives, located two suspects. The first was Mark Stephen McDermott, age 18, of 903 Waterview Drive in Pasadena. The second was Zachary Payne, age 17, of 1022 Cave Split Harbor in Pasadena. They were both located at that Cave Split Harbor residence in Pasadena and arrested and charged in the robbery of the pizza delivery driver. Now, as that investigation continued, further investigation consisting of evidence located at the Cave Split Harbor residence, along with several interviews, resulted in detectives determining that Mark McDermott, was also involved in the March 29th robbery of the 51-year-old citizen walking to the bus stop. The victim in that case was able to positively identify the suspect. At this time, the investigation is ongoing into the identity of the other two suspects. On April 5th, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for McDermott, charging him with armed robbery, first and second degree assault, theft under $100, and reckless endangerment. McDermott remains held at the Jennifer Road Detention Center on $500,000 bond. Now, as always, if you have any information on any crimes or suspects mentioned on the show, don't hesitate to call, email, or text your tip to Metro Crime Stoppers hotline. It's available 24 hours a day, toll-free at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP, or you can text message MCS plus your message to crimes at 274-637. Also visit the website at www.metrocrimestoppers.net. Remember, phone calls are not recorded and callers remain anonymous. You might be eligible for a cash reward of up to $2,000. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Justin. I can't believe 5 adult men would gang up on a 14-year-old boy. Let's hope they are found, brought to justice, and prosecuted.
In this week's Senior Spotlight, Mary Felter talks to Sherry Torciello about some upcoming meetings where family members who care for grandchildren, nieces, and nephews can get together and find out about available services. Mary?
Thank you, Karla. Today my guest is Sherry Torciello. I've asked her to come back and talk to us about Kin Connections and the support groups that they set up. It all has to do with grandparenting and taking care of your children that are not your direct children. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mary. Pleased to be here.
I wanted you to talk about the support group meetings that you all have set up and also what Kin Connections is. So let's tell our viewers what that is.
Sure, Mary. Kin Connections is really designed for individuals throughout Anne Arundel County that are taking care of a child that is not their own, that are taking care of a relative's child. That could be a stepchild, a godchild, a niece, nephew, cousin, grandchild. We welcome all kinship caregivers to the Kin Connections program.
I know that they've been operating now, or Kin Connections has been operating for several months now, and
Yes.
that you've established some support group meetings for people who have taken on these responsibilities. So tell me a little bit about why you set up support groups.
Sure. We have been operating for several months now. We actually declared October 7th, 2010 as Kinship Caregiver Resource Day. So that was really the kickoff to Kin Connections. Since then, we have been providing resources specifically in the area of the support groups, which you mentioned. What we found out from our kinship caregiver families is that they really feel isolated, that they really would like to share their experience with other caregivers, other individuals going through the same experience that they have. One of the common themes found in the kinship caregivers is the feeling of isolation, the unknown, how long is the kinship experience going to last, the newness of the child entering the home, going through all those different dynamics. So the support groups are really designed as a confidential, safe, supportive sounding board for the caregivers to talk to one another. And we do welcome guest speakers based on some subjects that people just want a little bit more information on.
Well, let's talk about when the next support group meetings are going to be held. I understand you have something coming up on April the 12th.
We do, Mary. We've been holding the support groups bi-monthly, and we use the Pascal Senior Center for our standing evening support group. which is the second Tuesday night of every month, 6:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. So the next support group is April 12th in the evening. Again, the time 6:30 to 8 p.m. And that's at the Pascal Senior Center located on 125 Dorsey Road.
And then your next one will be the following Thursday, the 14th.
Correct.
And that's in Annapolis?
Yes, that one is in Annapolis. We try to have 2 locations, make it convenient for everybody. We understand that some caregivers are working. We understand that some are not, so we have the 2 different times. The meeting on April 14th is located at the Annapolis Library on West Street, and that one is going to be from 1 p.m. until 2:30.
And your speaker for this group of meetings will be?
We actually have 2 speakers for the evening group. I'm pleased to announce we have Mary Fridley, who is owner of Jarrow Resources, LLC. She's also a columnist for the Capital newspaper, local newspaper here. And she's going to be talking to the caregivers about how to take care of oneself. It's a really important subject. A lot of the kinship caregivers are just so focused on the family and so focused on the child entering the home and the different dynamics of interacting with other siblings or anyone else in the home that they tend to not give themselves a break sometimes. So Mary is going to be giving some helpful tips on how to decompress and de-stress oneself and just to remember to stop and smell the roses a little bit for the caregivers.
And your other speaker who will be both on the 12th and at the 14th, I understand.
We are having Sue Young, who works for the Board of Education. She's a family outreach specialist, and she's going to be talking about another common topic for kinship caregivers, which is challenging youth behaviors. And her area of expertise is on the development years of children birth to age 5.
What kind of problems do the children have when they come in the home, do you think? I imagine it's got to be difficult to sometimes be whisked out of one world and put into another.
Sure. A lot of times, kinship caregivers take care of a relative's child at an unexpected time. It often happens with very little preparation. So really the child and the caregiver are going through this unknown transitional time in their lives together. Sometimes there is some uncertainty as to the visitation issues of the biological parents. Sometimes there's a loss due to death or incarceration. Sometimes children have been in foster care and now they're going to live with a relative. So there's just a whole, there's a whole dynamic of different issues.
So what can happen to the kinship caregiver themselves? What effect does this taking in a child? What kind of responsibilities or what kind of rights do they have?
Well, I will say that all the kinship caregivers, despite the unknown and the uncertainty as to what to expect when the child enters their home, all the caregivers that I've worked with, and we're talking about almost 600 families, Mary, throughout Anne Arundel County. Yeah, they are not alone, so we are hearing their voices. The common theme is just love and commitment to the child's safety and well-being. Even the most frustrated caregivers or caregivers that don't have as many resources as others and are struggling to just really make it work, they all share the commonality of the well-being and the safety and the child's upbringing and just the well-adjustment period. So a lot of these caregivers are putting their lives on hold. Some are putting their jobs on hold. Some were saving for retirement and now they're either going back to work or pulling themselves out of work. A lot of caregivers are putting their own physical or medical needs on hold. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about, how we can add some balance to their lives. Others, maybe were planning on relocating and now they're not, going through their savings. There's just so many areas that it affects.
Well, I understand you got together with some other departments here in Anne Arundel County.
Yes.
And one of the things that you all did, besides interview potential caregivers, is put together a resource manual for them. And how can they get this material? What do you recommend to them?
Well, we did put that together. It's called a Kinship Care Resource Manual, specifically for Anne Arundel County residents.
Okay.
It's the first one specialized for kinship caregivers in our county. They can call myself, Cher Torciello, Kinship Navigator, at 410-897-3933. I work for the Department of Social Services, and I'm pleased to announce that I do facilitate a steering committee, and we are collaborating with our partners, which are the Department of Aging and Disabilities, the Anne Arundel County Recreation and Parks Department, and the Anne Arundel County Board of Education.
And Sue Youngs would be the part of the Board of Education component.
Yes, yes. The Board of Ed, we are working with pupil personnel workers, family outreach specialists, counselors, social workers. The school has really a tremendous support for the relative caregivers.
So I'm going to ask again that you mention the dates and the time and the place of the caregiver support group, because I think people need to know about this.
Yes, we welcome all kinship caregivers. If you'd like to bring a friend or a spouse or a companion, please feel free to do so. Again, they're free, confidential, supportive setting. We have our second Tuesday evening of the month coming up, April 12th, 6:30 p.m. till 8 p.m. That's at 125 Dorsey Road at the Paschal Senior Center. We're going to be talking about how to better take care of oneself, add some balance to your life, some stress management tips, and we're going to be talking about challenging youth behaviors. Second group, also the same week, is on Thursday afternoon at the Annapolis Library on West Street. And we're going to also talk about challenging youth behaviors and some helpful parenting tips.
I'm looking forward to having some information about the behavioral tips, because I also have two granddaughters that I'm not taking care of on a full-time basis, but you know what it's like when they end up with you on the weekends. So.
Yes, it's unpredictable. It can be.
And your phone number again is
410-897-3933.
Well, thank you very much again for coming on the program, Cher, and sharing the information about the Kin Connections program and also your support groups. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you, Mary, for having me. My pleasure.
This is Mary Felter, Public Information Officer with the Anne Arundel County Department of Aging and Disabilities for Anne Arundel Week in Review. Thank you for watching, and back to you, Karla.
Thanks, Mary. The Kinship program seems like a good way for people who help others to get a little help for themselves.
Well, it's not too early to start thinking about summer. And in this week's Recreation and Park Spotlight, our own Franklin Cheney joins us to talk about some summer fun at the Summer Fun Centers. Franklin.
Thank you, Eric. Eric, I'm here with Carolyn Ryan, Recreation Specialist here at Recreation and Parks. And today we're going to talk about our Summer Fun Centers. Carolyn, how many Summer Fun Center programs do we have, and when do the programs start?
We have 17 Summer Fun Center sites throughout the whole county, and the program starts June 20th, runs through August 5th.
All right, so that's a 7-week program. What are the times for the program?
The camp runs from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. each day, and then we have aftercare for an additional fee from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. every day.
Okay, now obviously these are for kids, programs for the kids. What ages do we take for the program, and kind of give us an idea of what the kids will do at the program?
Okay, well, this year we actually are excited to be welcoming kindergartners into the program. So if you have an incoming kindergartner, they can start in our program. We run from kindergarten all the way through incoming 6th graders. So every day they do fun activities, indoor games, outdoor games, sports, arts and crafts. They go on field trips. We have special events planned. So it's a great, fun day. We have a theme for the summer, which is fun in the sun. And then each Summer Fun Center site kind of breaks that down into weekly themes with all different types of activities based around each weekly theme.
Now, you said the program lasts 7 weeks. And you can either sign up for the regular program, which is 7:30 to 3, or extended to that as well. Now, what is the cost for 7 weeks for 7:30 to 3?
If it's a kindergarten or 1st grader, or one of our what we call our preteens, which would be a 5th and 6th grader, it's $540 for the entire 7 weeks. For the 2nd through 4th graders, it's $440 for the 7 weeks.
All right, now if I'm kind of doing some quick math here, you said $440 for 7 weeks. How much does that break out per day?
That's a little over $15 a day for the entire 7 weeks. It's a great buy. Yeah,
So-
so the second through fourth graders, that's under $13 a day.
So your children in our program will receive great supervision for less than $15 a day.
Absolutely.
All right, now, how do they sign up for these type of programs?
I'm glad you asked. Parents can give us a call here at the office, 410-222-7313, or visit our website, www.aacounty.recparks, for more information or to register, just to get any questions answered.
All right, now you said 17 sites, so we're now going to run through, give a little visual for the citizens, a listing of the 17 sites. Now, and they're spread out throughout the county, correct?
Correct. All the way from the northern part of the county, eastern, western, and way down south.
All right. So if our parents out there have a child, it's time to sign up now, correct?
Absolutely. And actually, one of the great things about signing up now, you can register, hold your spot for a $75 non-refundable deposit, and you have until June 1st to finish making your payment.
All right, well, sounds great. It sounds like a great place for the kids to be in the summer. So, Erik, great things happen here at Recreation and Parks. Carolyn just went over the summer fun centers. We also have a lot of other programs for the summer, so check out our website. This is Franklin Cheney reporting for Anne Arundel County Week in Review. Erik, back to you.
Well, I don't know if you heard this, Karla, but Franklin's house is a summer fun camp.
Are we invited?
Well, he's very selective on who he gets to invite there. So I don't know that we're going to be there. And I can't tell anybody the location because everybody and their brother will be there. But on a lighter note, last week was the final showdown for the Maryland Senior Idol contest. And Anne Arundel County had two lovely ladies belting it out for their hometown. Brooklyn Park hairdresser and Week in Review star Shirley Valencia gave us a sneak preview of her performance here in the studio a couple of weeks ago and impressed us with her performance of The Way We Were. Unfortunately, our own idols Valencia and Betty Rosler of Severn faced some tough competition from other seniors around the state. Sterling Dorn of Prince George's County took home the top prize with his performance of It's Not Unusual. Mallory Anthony of Baltimore County took second place with her rendition of Getting to Know You. The contestants said they were just happy to be a part of the competition, and everyone was a winner for the event that benefited the Maryland Food Bank. Better luck next year to our Anne Arundel County idols.
Yeah, next year, Anne Arundel. So, Erik, I know that tomorrow is a big day in the Robey household.
Big day. Big day that, it's hard to believe it's here. My little girl is going to be registered for kindergarten tomorrow.
For the fall.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You ready for this?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, as ready as you can be.
She ready for this?
She's ready.
She's excited.
She's ready to go. She's been ready to go. But it's weird. We went from talking about idols to kindergartners.
Yeah.
But she's ready. She goes to preschool now, so she loves going to school. Just how is she going to do all day? I think the hardest part for me is putting her on that bus. That's going to be tough. The school's not far from her house, but still.
Seeing her off in the morning.
Bus. I remember when I went to kindergarten. Do you remember your first day to school?
I don't know if I remember my first day of kindergarten, but I remember my first day of school, every year in general, being excited about my new lunch boxes.
Oh, lunch boxes.
Because I would always get a new lunch box.
He-Man, G.I. Joe.
My favorite actually was Thundercats.
Thundercats, yeah. Transformers. I mean, these were great. They were the metal lunch boxes.
Right.
Not like the bags they got. Metal. Good metal, solid. Put an apple in there and you're good to go.
Get your new clothes, get your lunchbox.
My first day of kindergarten, I'll never live this one down, but I ran away from kindergarten.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, I get off the bus, go into my kindergarten class, meet my teacher, do whatever I'm doing, and apparently what I did is I opened the door and I took off down the sidewalk. Luckily, where the school was, the sidewalk was, 3 or 4 football fields to the road, so I didn't get very far until my teacher caught me. And what are you doing? What are you doing? Well, I'd never been away from home. I didn't go to preschool. I was, my mom, stay-at-home mom, so I wanted to go home and see Mom. I wasn't used to being somewhere like this. So.
But then the second day it went better.
Yeah,
you didn't run away.
I think I was playing Lincoln Logs or doing something fun.
Having fun at recess.
Having fun at recess. You lose recess once you go to middle school.
I know. I wasn't as excited for my first day of school when 6th grade came.
All you kids out there, if I'm elected to anything ever, I'm changing that. There should be recess in middle school. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's right. Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode online anytime at www.aacounty.org. You can even watch it at recess. Archive episodes are available at blip.tv and YouTube. You can also subscribe to the free video podcast at iTunes. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around your county. We'll take you out with Betty Rosler's performance from The Senior Idol, and we'll see you next time.
And don't it make my brown eyes blue? I'll be fine when you're gone. I just cry